man, and with an older man, and you acting like you fucking don't want to take the knowledge, and you just want to be an asshole, then you left alone. Or if you want to step to a grown ass man, you can get your ass beat by a grown ass man. This shit is there. It's all the kids are fucking pussies acting the way they act like. I don't think if someone's fucking 17 years old, you're a fucking man by then.
Yeah, we in an era right now, man, where when I was coming up, I mean they made coolness fashionable now. When I was growing up, we had Public Enemy, we had KRS-One, we had X-Clan, we had people who embraced being black and looked at being black like it was a cool thing, and we wanted to learn. We even had songs like KRS, "You Must Learn." We were enlightened. Now these little niggas are growing up on Percocet, lean, and thinking that coonery is the thing to do and supporting Trump, and don't even know what to stand on. They don't study shit. They don't learn shit. They just are lost. Like that dude who was on this panel right now, trying to show grace. There are a lot of intelligent young people out there. There are some young people doing the right thing, but when we hear people like that man who just now was on the stage saying, it makes you wonder how many other motherfuckers are thinking like this. And sadly and scarily, there are a lot of people thinking like him with this coolness, defeatist behavior where they support a rich, racist white man who has no love for you, and they can't even explain why. They spin in circles and shit. They will trade their own heritage in just to try to fit in with the Jersey Shore motherfucker. It's weird. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. There's no knowledge whatsoever of even trying to have self-preservation for these motherfuckers. They don't want us to sit here and coon our goddamn thing. I don't know if they take platforms that are paid to coon and they just trolls that are put here by the clubhouse down here. Who the fuck knows? I'm scared of where this shit's going. It's cool and shit, and it's sitting here and
Yeah,
giving
but I
us the
do think we gotta
opportunity.
work. We gotta work on our patience. It is young people. Let's stop now. Honestly, I do think we do need to work on our patience with these young people. So I do agree with Ryan. Now, if you're
So bring him back up, Patty, so he can make himself.
But Ryan, are you white or black, Ryan? I gotta ask.
Don't do that now.
Talk, dude.
Remember Lil Yachty? Remember when Lil Yachty said that nonsense about? No, I want to know if Ryan is white or black.
No, I don't care if he's white or black. That's not the
Because
conversation.
I care because white man.
You go on mute and let black people speak real quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slightly build on it because, like, I mean, even if you weren't actively,
I'm a mulatto.
Love, I can't lie.
what is
He's mixed. It doesn't matter. Just go on mute.
Yeah, he got the white man view.
Don't do that because most of the moderators that run this room. Matter of fact, people that run this room are fucking biracials.
I don't have a problem with that. Come back here. We got
Okay,
a white
so
man.
let's. Okay, so what?
Yeah, so it ain't the same. That's what. But
Thank
what?
you. Come on.
So what I'm simply saying is that, just to add to that point, I don't even think people should, people aren't required to actively be for the cause. There are a lot of people, who aren't for the cause. It's just because it just becomes concerning to me, particularly with this younger generation, where they're actively like against things. Like you can just be quiet. So for example, I'm sure folks are familiar with what Lil Yachty said on one of his tracks, just completely disrespectful to George Floyd in his memory. Like just like motherfuckers actively saying shit that like is not just cooning, but is like just anti-black as fuck. This is just coming from black folks. Something happened. I mean, whatever you think about Drake, I mean, but when you have like on certain tracks, him saying "beat your ass like American slaves," like what the fuck is this shit? Like it's the weirdest shit that I've never seen it before. I mean, I'm not that old, but this wasn't happening in the '90s. This wasn't even happening in the early 2000s, where people were just being like deliberately anti-black on tracks.
And I just want to say, and even when y'all talk about when we were young, no, we didn't do this. We had the chance to vote. I mean, if you're 40 or late 30s, you voted, for Obama probably your first or second time. We, chose to go a different way. We did not. These new young people are different. If you just listen to what he was saying, he couldn't be told anything. And then when you look in the chat, comprehension is not in the room. Now you have 10 plus adults, you know, varying degrees of success and things, and that's your assertion is that nobody can comprehend you. These young people are different. They are way, way more indignant and way more entitled than we ever were. So, I mean, to just think you know more than everybody on any stage, and to like speak with such fervency and such like audacity is just crazy, and you see it every fucking day. So, I I, I mean, I think we showed a lot of patience with him, but he's the one who wouldn't be quiet, and he's the one who really wouldn't take it. And I don't think nobody yelled at him or anything, but that's a typical, YN. But like they said, if you take this back pre internet, they can't survive. They can't. They talking about they want to go back to the 1940s. None of these niggas are married. None of these niggas are having babies in wedlock. They're just repeating talking. So I don't know, bro.
Can I culturally jump in? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I understand the level of cynicism, right? The accelerationist argument is basically saying, government doesn't work, it hasn't worked, so it can't work, so just blow the whole thing up. But I think the one of the big things they're missing is the scale of human suffering seems to really be glossed over in that scenario. Like in this imagination where, okay, America just ends and then tomorrow we have something better or whatever. Like that's not really how it's going to work. And I found it really troubling the metaphor he used, right, where the American people are DV victims who have been abused by their government, and Trump is an even bigger abuser who's going to hurt them even more and get them to realize, like through the means of government, and get them to realize, oh, this is abusive and I need to get out of it. Like, I don't really think that metaphor stands. So I feel like if your primary motivation is not to reduce human suffering, then I just don't know like what we're doing here. And I also think something that's missing is an understanding of how a dictatorship works. So like this idea that somehow under Trump or those closely aligned with him, that things are going to get so bad that eventually the people just rise up and it all is over. That's not really how dictatorship works. Like once they're in power, they can stay in power for many, many decades. And it doesn't matter how bad things are or how bad you want to get out of it. Like they're in control and they have the guns. And that's how it works.
It took a world war to get Hitler out of power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think they kind of, maybe they're not really students of history and understanding like the scale of the things that they're actually talking about. The last thing I'll say is just about the connection between like evangelicalism and white supremacy. I mean, I'm sure so many of you know the quote by Martin Luther King about the Sunday morning church hour being the most segregated hour in America. And if you look at what a lot of these evangelical and Catholic churches are teaching, it is very closely aligned with white supremacy and with patriarchy. Under the church system, like the modern day typical white church, it's basically all white people. All the white men are in charge. Women play a very like secondary, non-decision making role. Very few people of color are empowered in any kind of leadership except in their own personal homes. So when people talk about all this, oh, there's going to be like a revival in America, and there's going to be this, and there's going to be that, like when they talk about following God and Jesus, like they are imagining a very patriarchal white supremacist message. So I'll just land there.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of what's happened to like with black people over the past few years
saw a couple of videos or went to YouTube University. It's really funny, like a lot of these kids want to tell you what to do with the internet when some of these things are the things that they're using are things that you built. They have a get fast approach where they think that we just don't know how to do it fast enough, and they have some secret code that's going to get them richer and quicker. And lastly, they have no idea. These kids are on Amazon Prime. They're on Discord in these little bubbles. They have no idea what struggle looks like. Missing the bus and getting their jeans wet, not getting what they wanted. You see them crashing out in school because somebody took their phone away. What are they going to do in an anarchist situation? They have no idea. They have no idea.
Crystal, do y'all realize that if the government wants to, like if it's going to be a dictatorship, the government can just turn off the internet and that's it? Do they realize that?
And I think like the thing is like every generation did do a form of this, but the government wasn't using them as useful idiots to forward an agenda that can change this fabric of the country forever. That's just my opinion.
Okay, but yeah, I agree with Ryan, y'all. We gotta have more patience with some of these younger people. Are these old motherfuckers that keep coming up here? Like the TCs and Anthony's, you ain't gonna be able to change that.
Can y'all hear?
Go ahead, Chad.
Alright, I'm gonna try
You
to.
gotta change your name too. That's what I keep thinking of. I'm gonna call you Vic.
That's cool. Alright, I'm gonna try to start off with this. Alright, so what I'm basically trying to articulate, it's kind of hard to articulate to people who already got a fixed mindset. So, alright, the disconnect between the younger people and the older people is the older people are not accepting new information. Because if you think about it, are the black families, it's a black
information bag real quick.
new information or new ways of thinking. Like, okay, you know how like Martin Luther King, I'm gonna just take it all the way back. You know how Martin Luther King was saying like, okay, he had a dream, white people, black people, like what we had to come together. And then he turned around before he died and said he did us a disservice because he realized what he realized, like, okay, these people were never gonna love us, they're never gonna let us get in a position, they never gonna do these things for us, they never gonna get us reparation, you're not gonna do things that they promised us. And then they killed him. So fast forward time, shit, basically following government, getting all the vaccinations, we doing all these things that the government is telling us to do and having faith in them. And as time going on, we looking at our parents and when we getting older, we not vaccinating our kids because we doing further research and learning the dangers of vaccines and how it plays a part in a lot of ADHD and bipolar and all type of behavior problems. So when we researching all this shit and we getting more educated with science and all this new information, not new information, but updated information, or real information. And then we try to come back and tell our parents and stuff like, hey, this is what we found out. This is why I'm not getting my baby vaccinated. Then they want to still argue we don't know nothing. It's like, no, y'all was so a bunch of.
They want parts that they get naming parts that they have. It's like
where all the girls is stripping and being hoes and all the niggas want to kill each other and we just fuck.
And that has to do with vaccines.
No, not vaccine. That was just an example.
Okay, so what I'm telling you is bipolar has nothing to do with vaccines. So when you guys come to us, because I have children in your age, how are you?
27. It's 27.
Oh no, you're older than my kids. Okay, no problem. So when they come to me with misinformation that they got off of TikTok, Facebook,
TikTok.
Gotta have more patience. Bitch, you in the matrix. Bitch, you in the matrix.
Is anybody else hearing her coming in and out, or is it?
Yeah, she's coming in and out.
Matrix.
No.
Shame that motherfucker up.
You're in the Matrix again, Lisa.
Holy cow.
Okay, I'm going.
Alright.
So I do want to address something when you talk about Martin Luther King. He still believed in the integration. What changed was economic justice. That's what it was.
And one was a game.
Yeah, and militarism. And it wasn't separation. He never turned to separation.
Yeah, there's a book you can get called Kingonomics by Dr. Rodney Sampson, and it takes a look at the economic philosophy of Dr. King in the last years of his life. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, he still wanted us to be able to integrate. It's more about economics, it's about systematic racism. And I think he was becoming more militaristic, right?
Yeah,
What is racism?
No, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole because it's gonna be a big
And okay, I'm gonna just say this. Economics definitely has racism has a participant in economics. Racism is systematic.
thing for that.
That time is full. That's the information on economics.
Yeah.
So basically, what I was basically trying to say is, say your whole family get kidnapped, right? And the kidnappers have y'all live by these set of rules, and everybody's just like your whole family is just living by these rules. You have kids, and then your kids raise their kids to obey by these rules. It's like this is the generation comes after we realizing that we have been fucking kidnapped, and we need to stop playing the fucking game. This is fucking sick. That's what I'm saying. Now, so I'm saying like what Trump is doing, because Trump is fucking tearing this shit apart. This is what needs to happen.
This is not what needs to happen. So Jess, you brought up Martin Luther King, right? You ever heard of the Poor People's Campaign?
Yes.
So I want you to Google Poor People's Campaign and look at what's happening today, right? So like at that time when with the Poor People Campaign or even the book that he recommended me to read, he started to realize like white folks want to support us when it comes to civil rights. But their support is gonna be fragile when they like feel like they're gonna lose power to resources. And that's what's happening now, right? So like I always bring up these little Psychology Today magazines and all this shit to support for Donald Trump, white young men. It's their access to resources, their access to power. They feel like they've lost that. They don't see us getting hosed. They don't see us sitting in the back of the bus, but they ignore the other difficulties that's going on, right? So because they don't see the fucking, they don't see that. They don't see dogs fighting our kids and shit. They don't see kids getting rocks thrown at them going into the schools. They think that we're on equal plane. You know? And now they think we've taken their resources and they don't have power. And King predicted this in the end.
Have you ever heard the saying, or not? It's not a saying, but you know, like you can clean up something. It like when you clean up a house, it looks fucked up before it actually gets clean.
What's going on? Are you trying to be a poet? Because you keep coming up with something.
No.
He's giving a perspective on your office. So I want to like this. I do hear this quite a bit.
Okay, go ahead.
So like, just like somebody had said it earlier. In order to get Hitler out of position, World War I had to happen, right? And it's crazy because y'all say like
That was World
World War II. Okay, World War II. It's crazy because like y'all saying stuff like the younger people don't know what hard times is and this and that. Like I'm from that generation like right before. Like I'm still old enough to remember like missing a bus and all that shit. I'm way before iPhones and all this shit. I didn't grow up with an iPhone in my hand. I didn't grow up with computers. I didn't grow up with shit. We didn't have fucking TV in my room. Anyways, what I'm saying is.
27. I had computers and I'm 40, so.
I had AOL.
y'all have experienced, we are more war ready and ready to fight for what we really believe in than y'all ever have. We are more like the energy that we got towards each other, have been killing each. We really want to take this towards the real opponents, but we don't have everybody backing us up, especially our elders. Y'all don't really want to die about this and really can make a way in a different light for the people that's coming after us. Y'all don't really want to die about this shit. Y'all playing.
Yo, let me just say something to you real quick, just because you could. I just want to hold on 1 second.
All right.
So, bro, I would implore you to just look up history. You're talking about, being ready to die. Go look at the murder rate when we were kids and the crime that was going on when we were kids. This what y'all got going on is light fucking work. Y'all really think y'all are soldiers, and I'm with all due respect, y'all are not, bro. Y'all have luxuries that we do not have, and y'all think y'all are ready for war. Y'all don't even understand what war is. Y'all have not had a crack epidemic. Y'all have not had the things that we have.
We are the byproducts of that.
Y'all are not the byproducts of the crack epidemic. You're not. You're not, and that's what we are. Sir, let me finish. You were allowed to talk. I mean, this is telling in and of itself. We allowed you to talk. Now I'm just interjecting to give you some information, and you don't want to take it. But what I'm telling you is you're abreast of what's going on right now, and you're talking about y'all are soldiers and y'all are killers. Y'all aren't. Y'all do a whole bunch of. Let me finish.
This N-word is a killer.